You know, whenever I play Symmetra, I get a lot of guff. People just don't seem to dig her. They say she's outclassed by any other support, she doesn't do enough damage, and she can't properly heal anyone. Not to mention that any smart player would just keep distance from her and never follow her into a room, but let's face it, we're playing Overwatch. How many smart players are you gonna find? As Symmetra, you are technically a support character, meaning you are tasked with the babysitting of the babies as they blame you for literally all of their shortcomings. As your teammate respawns from rushing into 3 of the enemy alone, you'll always be greeted with a, "Did you see that? Did you see me? Did you see how you fucked up? I really need you to attach yourself to me and do your job as support so I can do mine as carry." They'll boast as they flaunt their bronze medal in eliminations. But let's face it, supports are bitches and only bitches play them. Which is why I love to play Lucio. And you are a strong Indian woman who doesn't need the title of your class to mean jack shit. Because let's face it, how much supporting does Symmetra really do? Sure, her E gives teammates a refreshable barrier that you'll probably only use in the spawn room once, if you're a bad Symmetra. But when that barrier seems like something Symmetra scraped off of her own and tossed your way, it really doesn't do much, as even a few bullets from a tracer will drop that thing faster than I dropped League of Legends when my new computer arrived and I could actually play this game. But no, the main draw of Symmetra are her tiny terrible turrets. These little fuckers can attach to almost any flat surface. Stick them on walls, floors, boxes, ceilings, hell even put them on the payload. They'll instantly be destroyed if you put them on the payload. The turrets damage enemies as well as slow them with a very noticeable beam. Sure, it's hard to kill people with the turrets alone, as anyone with decent reaction time will back out of the room real quick, or just take one shot at them to blow them up as they're flimsy as any American-made product. But they're great for racking up eliminations as someone else does the heavy hitting for you. Like, check out this little ditty. It only works in tiny areas, but I love to call this move the microwave oven. The turrets are hidden within the tiny crevices in the ceiling, making it difficult for enemies to see from the outside, which is a good thing to keep in mind since enemy turrets will be outlined in red, making them very obvious to anyone looking at them. Her secondary fire is basically a Samus neutral bee from Smash Bros, and if you don't know what that is, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. But I'll explain it anyway. Basically, you charge up a large blast. At full charge, you'll either hold it for a bit, and it'll either fire after being held for too long, or you let go of the alt fire. This move is great for games of peekaboo, generally against enemy bastions or turret turrets. It's not a bad move either to begin charging when you know you'll be turning corners to surprise your foes with a blast of Indian justice to start off your tango. Her main form of fire is her particle beam cannon thingy. The regular fire will start a glow, and getting near an enemy attaches a beam to your foe. If the beam is attached long enough, it starts to deal more damage. This charge remains between foes so long as you keep attacking, so kill one and bring the pain to the others. The con of this being that it's a fairly short range, so people like Tracer can easily just jump out of it, but the best thing of this being you don't have to do what 80% of Overwatch players could never do: aim. Attach your beam and jump around like a rabbit in heat, constantly taunting your foe as they struggle to land more than one shot on you, despite doing a very obvious pattern of movement.
"Oh no, he's not moving directly at me,"
they cry.
"How am I supposed to hit it?"
They shout as tears stream down from their face and they pop the negative match button post-game. The bunny hop is a great technique for any character, but Symmetra benefits from it especially since she doesn't have to bother aiming for you. And unlike Winston, Symmetra is a tinier target, the largest thing on her being that ass that of course goes unappreciated as it's not wrapped up in latex and she doesn't have the illusion of being fat. Let's not forget the ultimate. With a teleporter, you can get your team into the action much faster, especially on long trek maps. Surely your team will appreciate you now, right? Wrong. Yes, you do have a teleporter as your ult. A teleporter with limited charges and no way of increasing it. There's only a few scenarios this will play out. Scenario A. The teleporter works as intended and you get your team where they need to be after a fuck up and all charges are used. Scenario B. An enemy finds your teleporter and blows it up with a few hits after teleporting one to no teammates. And finally, the all too likely scenario, your teleporter will only be used by one character. The one that keeps running in and dying alone and spamming group up with me as they, again, rush in alone. After they expunge all the charges from your teleporter single-handedly, guess who the blame falls on? I'll give you a hint, it's you. It's always gonna be you. Afterwards, your team will blame you for not keeping a teleporter up, and for being useless. Unless you're really going for gold medals, in which case you can just place a teleporter in your spawn so that it stays up forever. But that won't matter either, since no one ever votes for Symmetra since she isn't a heal bitch, and they feel silly if she has the most eliminations. But what do I know? After all, I'm just a salty fuck. God damn it, just vote for me. Vote. I carried that.